What's the more competitive fight for GGG? Is it Canelo or Jacobs?
Canelo.
Canelo by far? Floyd seems to think that he knocks him out. Last night on ESPN, he was talking about it. He says Canelo stops him. GGG.
Canelo stops GGG?
Yeah.
No, I do think it's a very good fight. I think it's a very competitive fight. I rate Canelo massively. I think it's a great fight. And I think he's improving.
The reason he said so was because he said that GGG had problems with a welterweight, Brook, and that he thinks Canelo...
It's different styles though, isn't it? It's speed, his styles make fights. I would have loved to have seen Floyd against Triple G. Loved it. He probably would have beaten him, remarkably. You know. But how do you maintain the pressure for 12 rounds? See, Brook did it for 3 or 4 rounds. I mean, he got wobbled in the first, had a really good second round, decent third, but then it's just pressure. The beauty of Floyd is he wasn't a puncher, yet could still maintain the pressure.
Even now, could he beat him? Even now, at his age, could Floyd, if he decided to come back and fight?
I'd still love to see it. Love to see it.
You would still think that he would be able to beat Triple G now at 40 years old?
Do you know what? He's that skillful.
Yeah.
It's just, can you... Golovkin is so underrated, his feet are so underrated. When you speak to Kel, when you speak to him tomorrow, you know, it's just like, he cuts the ring off so well. He doesn't even look like he's doing it. And for someone that doesn't know boxing, they just think he just marauds forward. But he makes you fight. See, Brook Golovkin was so exciting, but it wasn't necessarily the game plan. Do you know what I mean? Brook had to stand and fight with him, which I don't think he really wanted to do. Well, he can't have, because it was definitely the wrong tactics. But you have no choice. You can box and move, and you're here and he's here, and you move over here, but Floyd has the skills to tie him up, and I don't know.
So Eddie, you say maybe you think that Mayweather could beat Golovkin?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Floyd was critical about the stoppage as well.
Which stoppage?
The Kell Brook stoppage.
Yeah. Well, in what respect?
That he felt Brook could have kept going.
He could have, but if you...
one-eyed?
The problem
I mean, Brook felt that way too.
Yeah, but he's a fighter.
Yeah.
So when you fracture your eye socket, if that crashes and crumbles, you could be blind forever. Do you know what I mean? So Brook was happy to carry on. The heat was coming for him because he couldn't see out one eye. The problem is, when you go back to the corner and you tell the corner man you've got double vision, that's not good news. Like, and forget the eye socket, that could be all kinds of injuries.
Too lots of Triple G ain't too good.
No. But even you talk about brain injuries and stuff like that. I mean, double vision and stuff like that is. So as soon as he says that to the trainer, it's in the trainer's mind that, listen, you don't know it's a fractured eye socket. They had an idea, but it could be anything.
I know immediately after he said, you know, knock me out. That's how I want to lose.
Yeah, but he's a fighter.
Now, does the hindsight 2020? Has he changed his opinion?
He said now.
He still retains that opinion?
Now, I wish my eye didn't get damaged. I believe I could have beaten him. He said I was finding my feet. He said I was feeling it. He said his power. And actually, if you watch the fight, he was getting hit flush with shots, and he wasn't like. I mean, other than the first round, in the first 20 seconds of the fight, he never wobbled. He took a lot of flush shots off Golovkin. He never sort of stumbled across the ring. But you see him at the end saying, "Come on, keep going." And and when the stoppage come in, but it was the right thing for his career. You know, he still had to have an operation. He still had to have pins put into there. And another 3 or 4 rounds, who knows, that could have been the end of his career. So you have to look at the trainer, and while he got booed out of the arena, the trainer, you've got to be smart, you know.
Can I just ask you about, you know, we know the history of James DeGale, etc. Is this the fight that could change the perception of him in the UK because of what's to come after this, if he wins?
I think it might be a little bit too late in the career to start worrying about perception. You know, this is, if not the defining fight, definitely a defining fight for James DeGale.
Well, big crossroads.
Yeah, I mean, he's come through. He was, you look at the peaks and troughs of boxing over the last 8 years. When he turned pro and he was Olympic gold medalist, he was, you know, the real big name. And he sort of went down, he went with a couple of other promoters and started boxing a little bit under the scenes. Yeah. Then he came back up, you know, he beat Durrell, and then he went over here and he disappeared. And now he's back in this fight, which is a real big fight.
There's a parallel, because you were with Carl at the time, a parallel here with Carl Froch. You make it in the States, then you come back, and then you have those couple of fights that actually capture public imagination.
I would have liked him to come back after the Andre Durrell fight.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of focus on this fight this weekend, a lot of Brits watching. Callum Smith gets the winner.